Have you ever actually stopped to think about how you know exactly where and exactly when you are right now? It sounds kind of philosophical, doesn't it? But honestly, it all comes down to this incredible foundational toolkit we learn so early on in life that we basically forget about it entirely as adults. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking Chapter 9, which is titled, Which Season Is It? But hey, we're not just going to look at this as some simple lesson on the weather. Instead, we're treating it as a fascinating, highly structured toolkit for navigating reality itself. Okay, let's dive into this. To truly understand our place in the world, we have an incredibly structured three-pillar roadmap today. 1. Nature cycles. 2. Measuring time. And 3. Navigating space. Pillar 1. Nature's 5 rhythmic cycles. Let's take a moment to observe how the environment around us changes. You know, before humanity invented clocks or printed calendars, we had this sky and the trees. And the source introduces this concept of time passing, not with some dry scientific definition, but with actual poetry. Listen to this. Spring begins with a cheer. Flowers bloom, the birds sing. When comes the merry spring? Doesn't that just set a wonderful artistic stage? It's a great reminder that our primary experience of time is completely sensory. It's the cheer in the air, the bright burst of blooming flowers, and the actual sound of birds singing. Then, as that rhythmic cycle turns, we hit our first major environmental shift. And man, you can practically feel the heat. As the text says, summer comes with the shining sun and a long day to play. Notice the specific details here. It's not just about the temperature reading on a thermometer. It's about how the season directly dictates human behavior. The sun is blazing, you're wiping sweat from your forehead, maybe you're grabbing some ice cream, and you're absolutely taking advantage of those longer daylight hours to play outside. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Suddenly, those long, hot, dry days are completely replaced by the monsoon. The rainy season rolls in with heavy water drops, entirely transforming the landscape. And again, nature acts as our clock. We know it's the rainy season because the local wildlife tells us it is. The peacock dances, the frog hops around, the entire ecosystem just shifts gears. Fast forward a bit, and the environment radically transforms yet again. Winter is when I'm all in snow from head to toe. What's so fascinating about this is how these seasons dictate local variations in our daily everyday lives. Depending on where you live, winter completely alters your survival toolkit. Like if you're in Kashmir, you're wearing a warm farron. The clothes we wear, the locally available food we eat, it's all completely tied to this cycle. So, looking at the macro cycle all put together, it flows naturally like this. We start with spring and the blooming flowers, move right into the shining sun of summer, cool down with the water drops of the monsoon, transition through autumn where the leaves fall, and finally, we settle into winter, covered in snow from head to toe. This continuous, repeating timeline, that's Earth's natural rhythm, and it gives us our very first fundamental sense of orientation in life. So let me ask you, what is special about your favorite season? Seriously, take a brief beat and think about it. Why do you love it? Is it the food, the holidays, the weather, the clothes? By answering this, you realize just how deeply tethered your personal preferences and memories actually are to the Earth's natural cycles. Let's move on to Pillar 2, measuring time, focusing on festivals and calendars. We're shifting gears now from the abstract, poetic observation of nature into the rigorous ways humans actively organize time. See, we anchor those sensory seasons to specific human milestones. We use vibrant cultural festivals as communal markers of time passing. Spring, for instance, aligns with major celebrations like Gudi Padva, Shivratri, Baisakhi, and Holi. Then summer brings Guru Purnima, Buddha Purnima, Ram Navami, and Mahavir Jayanti. These festivals are basically cultural pushpins on the corkboard of the year. They ensure that whole communities experience time together. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we take that cultural measurement of time and turn it into strict mathematical data. Children actually learn this mathematical structure of the year through exercises like Calendar Fun, where they look at a calendar and fill out a table. It's the exact moment we transition from the natural, wild flow of the environment into the precise human-made grid of weeks and months. Let's break down the data-driven reality of our calendar. We divide the year into 12 distinct blocks, but just look at the fascinating irregularity of human timekeeping. We have 7 months packed with 31 days. Then we have 4 months with exactly 30 days, and sitting right there in the middle of it all is February, an absolute wild card with 28 or 29 days. It perfectly illustrates humanity's attempt to box the smooth, continuous flow of natural seasons into a rigid, manageable mathematical system. And we can tie this massive mathematical concept of a 12-month calendar right back to a deeply personal micro-event, your own birthday. Think about it. Your birthday falls in which season of the year? Instantly, you just linked a specific numerical date on a man-made calendar to a natural environmental season. You've personally bridged the gap between human measurement and Earth's rhythm. All right, on to our final pillar. Pillar 3, navigating space and finding directions. Through the seasons and the calendar, we've thoroughly established exactly when we are. But navigating reality requires another crucial coordinate, right? We need to know exactly where we are physically standing. And that requires understanding a deceptively simple tool, the compass, a tool used purely for finding direction. The absolutely crucial point here is that it moves us away from relative terms like left and right, which completely change depending on which way you happen to be looking, and introduces us to absolute coordinates, north, south, east, and west. These directions exist completely independently of us, giving us a permanent grid for physical reality. What's brilliant here is how the chapter scales down this massive concept of global navigation right into a student's immediate environment. By using a compass rose to map out a single classroom, locating Mira, Sarah, Anil, Ali, and their friends, it creates a perfect microcosm. Think about it. If you can navigate the space between Anil and Sarah's desks using north and south, you are literally using the exact same principles required to navigate the entire globe. Let's step back and see how this all builds together. We started by looking at the sky and feeling the weather to observe nature's seasons. Then we tracked that passing time using festivals and the rigorous mathematics of calendars. And finally, we found our place physically in space using the absolute directions of a compass. These 3 core pillars seamlessly construct a child's, and frankly our, complete foundational orientation to reality. I want to leave you with this provocative thought. As adults, we rush from air-conditioned buildings to heated cars, we stare at digital clocks all day, and we basically just blindly follow the GPS on our phones. We completely outsource our orientation. So, when was the last time you truly paid attention to the natural season outside, the actual day on the physical calendar, and the true compass direction you were facing? Maybe it's time to step outside, feel the wind, and reorient yourself to the world. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.